Have you ever replied to a message at 10 p.m. because you just want to get it done? Or take a call on your day off because you don't want to seem difficult? Welcome to the always on trap. In a world where phones blur the lines between work and home, personal and professional, one of the most powerful things we can say is no, not right now. This episode is about digital boundaries, why we need them, how tech is reshaping our stress response, and how to take back control of your time and your well-being. If you are caring for someone else, whether paid or unpaid, and no matter how many hours you do it, did you realise that you may be missing out on thousands of pounds of discounts for things that you may use every day? The Able to Care podcast is proud to be sponsored by the UK's #1 carers card. Started by two best friends who recognise that carers deserve better and are 100% committed to helping to change the lives of all carers and bringing them together as a strong community. Carers Card UK provides support, recognition and rewards. It offers reassurance by providing an ID card that helps access emergency information when needed, while also unlocking discounts, a wellbeing hub, a carers circle tool and a community through their app. All of this for less than the price of a box of chocolates a year. There are discounts on gym membership, days out, electrical goods, clothing and even glasses. Let others know you care while taking a little care of yourself with an ID card you can be proud of. Visit carerscarduk.co.uk/promo code/able to care today to order yours. Hello and welcome to the Able to Care podcast. I'm Andy Baker, your host, and if your phone has ever vibrated during dinner and your first thought was, I better just deal with it, then you're in the right place. Today we're talking about digital boundaries, or more accurately, the lack of them, and how our phones, emails, messages, and even well-meaning WhatsApp groups are slowly eating into our well-being. Because here's the thing, we can't pour from an empty cup. But these days we're trying to pour from a cup that's constantly pinging. There's a book by Dr. Anna Lembke, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, called Dopamine Nation. And the dopamine loop that it refers to, so notifications give us tiny dopamine hits, the same brain chemical involved in reward and motivation. It's the same one that certain drugs release. And over time, this creates compulsion checking. We're not choosing to look at the phone, we're wired to. We're getting that hit of dopamine every time that we do. That anticipation of what might it be. And humans are the only animals who can trigger a stress response just by thinking about it. When our phones are on, so is our brain. Anticipating a message, you're triggering cortisol, your stress hormone, over and over again. When work, care, and emotional demands follow us home, into the bath, into the bed, into our walks, we never truly switch off. And the more accessible we are, the more expected our accessibility becomes. That's the thing, isn't it? If you remember when I was a kid, it was a case of I didn't even have a mobile phone. I didn't have my first mobile phone until I was 16, might have been 18 years of age that I had my first mobile phone. Yes, I used a landline and things like that. But we used to set plans of what time I was going to be somewhere when, so that then my parents could pick me up or what we're going to do, or I could go to a phone box and use the phone if I really needed to. Obviously, they were more accessible at that time. So we were okay at that point in time. Now we don't feel that we can send our children to school without a mobile phone, because what if something happens? But statistically, no more things are happening than they ever did. The problem with this behavior of constantly being switched onto phone, it actually increases the vulnerability of burnout. It can actually then lead to increased feelings of resentment, whether it be a person that's messaging you or a work that's messaging you. It feels like that resentment's going to build up, going, you never let me free. You never let me be in peace. So that actually reduces quality of support. And ironically, it often leads us to care less because we're too stretched to care well. So let's think about it as a childcare professional. You run a class all day, then parents message you at 9 p.m. asking for updates on their child. And you respond because you genuinely care. But the next night it happens again, and now the boundary has shifted. Or if you're a foster carer and you're in a WhatsApp group with social workers, therapists, other professionals, other foster parents, messages come at 7 a.m., 11 p.m., weekends. You don't want to miss something important, so you check constantly, even when your brain is screaming for a rest. For support staff and care workers, a shift manager sends rotas through on Facebook Messenger. You're expected to reply on your day off. If you don't, you feel guilty, or worse, like you're not part of the team. And what about a care home leader? An individual calls you after hours just to check in on a staffing issue. Your answer, because you don't want to let anybody down, but inside, you're exhausted. Now, these moments may seem small, but they add up and they chip away at your time and your relationship and your mental clarity. So, what's really at risk? Well, one, it can damage your ability to empathize. You can't be present for others if your mind is always somewhere else. It can over-identify. So when boundaries erode, you stop becoming the professional supporting someone. You start carrying their emotional load as it's your own. You can also cause problems as far as over-reliance on you. If you're always there when they need you, then what are you going to do one day when you're not? Professional guilt. You can start feeling bad for taking any time off at all, for not replying instantly, for taking a rest, taking a day off. That guilt is not noble. It's actually a warning light. So what can you do? One, here are some tips. And I have to be honest, I don't always follow these myself. I'm a multiple business owner and I'm terrible at sometimes turning that phone off and not engaging with it. But I'm trying to do better. And that's what we can do, is try to do better. So set a digital curfew. Decide a time each night when your phone goes on do not disturb. Tell your team after this time, I'm unavailable unless it's a true emergency. If you don't feel that's appropriate, then you can do it where you can set the notifications on silent, or you can turn it on airplane mode, for instance. But you could maybe just turn the notifications off for messages, but just means if somebody calls you, you can still answer. Another thing you could do is have two phones, one for work, one for personal, making sure you're only giving one out. But if somebody, a few key people have your personal number, so if they really need you, then they can contact. But otherwise, you can turn off apps, turn off messages during those rest times. Model it loudly. Send a message back. I'll reply during working hours. Let's not send non-urgent messages. Set it up as a practice. Let's not send non-urgent messages after 6 p.m. Or saying, I'm having a no tech Sunday, taking a genuine day off and just managing those expectations. If you communicate them clearly, let other people know, then that's going to reduce their distress. If they're messaging you, not messaging back, and the expectation is you should be messaging them back, then you're going to get a phone call. You're going to get somebody coming round because you've not met their expectations. If you communicate in advance, I'm having a no tech Sunday, I'll set it up an auto message that's, sorry, not answering today, having a no tech Sunday, then hopefully you're managing those expectations. And this is an important element as well for those of you looking after children. People follow what you model, not just what you preach. If you're a leader, don't be the person sending emails at midnight. If you're a colleague, don't expect instant replies. Build a culture where people can rest without fear, using mature and appropriate mobile phone and technology use. If you've got children around, you should be doing that the same. If you're halfway through the meal, you're taking a message, but then you're telling them they shouldn't, we'll throw away, we're giving mixed messages. So should there be no phones in the bedroom? Should there be no phones at the meal table? Set the boundaries as a culture within your environment. Also remind yourself you're not an emergency service. If a situation is severe enough, then it would be 999. If your work isn't urgent, but it's important, you're not available 24/7. People need you at your best, not at your most available. So what's one boundary you've let slide because of technology? What's one step you could take this week to maybe get some of your spare time back? Technology is incredible. It connects us, informs us, empowers us. But if we're not careful, it also consumes us. So this week, unplug, switch off, say no. Think about the importance of your self-care and how that if your bucket of well-being isn't full, how can you share that amongst your team, amongst the others you support, or amongst your own children? Thanks for listening. If this helped you reclaim a little peace, pass it on. Let's normalize rest in a world that never seems to stop. See you next time.